call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum with all members here. Are there any adjustments to tonight's agenda? Okay, do I hear a motion to adopt with flexibility? Okay. All right, we're going to move right on into introduction of guests. It's always a joy to have our students here, and I know we have some adults visiting, and then some of you get voluntold to be here, so the joy on your face is evident as well. So we're going to start right up here with Tanya, and we'll go around the room, and if you'll just introduce yourself.
Tanya Hutchins, Stephanie Stevens, Kelly Bailey,
Troy Williams,
Terry Parker, Janet Ruhlhart,
Michael Alba, Jeremy Mendoza,
Vanessa Gonzalez,
Christopher Blair, Kirk Murad, Rick Castellanos,
Lacey Lockwood,
Jesse Van Hooyer, Bob De La Cruz,
Roger Hine, Mark Miggs, Jimmy Crawford,
Linda Coffin, Linda Harden, Ruth Coffins,
Armando Andrade, Brandon Gonzalez,
Adam Rodriguez, Keanu Ramirez,
Alvaro Pratt, Elias Quintana, Javier Serna, Chase Yusuf, Hector Luciaga,
Ana Vizcara, Sherry Cross,
Aaron Ramirez,
Carmen Ramirez, Gian Spencer, Mijaela Rosas,
Arthur College,
Daniel Caballero,
Victor Cabello,
Cynthia Martinez,
Michael Rutledge, Luis Gomez, George Herrera,
Kelly Miranda,
We have someone in the back?
Cameron Avedas, Elijah Estrada, Peyton Hagler,
Melissa Rice.
Okay, did we miss anybody? All right, well, welcome everybody. We're always glad to see you here for tonight's meeting. I'm going to turn it over to the superintendent. I think she has some special recognitions.
This is part of some of them were voluntold to be here. I don't think people want to come on a Monday night, right, guys? So glad to have our Wildcats here, and I always want to honor our kiddos first and foremost for. Turn that on. And then our staff members who work so hard every day beyond the 7:30 to 3:30 times and the weekends, and just pouring into our kiddos as well. And to our parents, thank you for being here. First off, I would like to honor Mr. Hagler. Mr. Hagler, would you please come up? Mr. Hagler has been recognized as the CTE Teacher of the Year for our state. Mr. Hagler, Energy Teacher and Head Skills USA Advisor at Leamington High School, has been honored as the Teacher of the Year by the NMACTE. This prestigious award recognizes new CTE teachers who have made significant contributions toward innovative and unique career and technical education programs and has demonstrated a strong professional commitment early in his career. Mr. Hagler has been instrumental in establishing an oil-field pre-employment pathway, which we call OPEP, for Leamington High School, providing students with the skills and knowledge needed to succeed in the energy industry. He is implementing an energy pathway curricula that prepares students for career success. Mr. Hagler's unwavering dedication to his students and his community exemplifies the transformative power of education in building meaningful connections between schools and the industry. His work continues to inspire educators and students alike, strengthening the future of our workforce in our region. Mr. Hagler will now have the opportunity to go to Region 4 conference and compete against other new CTE Teachers of the Year from Arkansas, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Texas. He plans to attend in Oklahoma City this April and represent New Mexico in hopes of winning the Region 4. When he wins, he will represent the region at ACTE National Conference in December. So I'd like to take this time to congratulate Mr. Hagler for everything that he's done for our students and our program. Mr. Hagler?
You were too quick, and I couldn't take a picture.
Oh, my apologies.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to say?
Go Cats.
Next, we have our DECA state qualifiers. Are they here? Will you guys make your way up? And Mr. Crawford. They don't want to see me, so I'm going to try. Yes, that'd be great. Awesome. This is a fairly new chapter with Skills USA. I believe it's been 3 years strong, correct?
It's a separate from skills.
Okay. But 3 years?
We did 30 years.
3. So since competing, our DECA chapter has made their mark at the state level. We thought we were just going to ease this group in, get our feet wet, and see what we could do. But even the first year, we had qualifiers going to state and even nationals, correct? These Wildcats are state qualifiers. They will be headed to Albuquerque to compete for a spot at the national level. They are coached by Mr. Crawford, and I'm very proud of them for displaying attributes of our portrait of a Wildcat in the areas of critical thinking, confidence, and integrity. Avery has qualified in the Principles of Finance, Hector in Automotive Services Marketing Series, Sheridan in Professional Selling, Diego in Personal Financial Literacy, Alvaro in Principles of Finance, Santiago in Principles of Entrepreneurship, Jocelyn in Personal Financial Literacy, Javier in Personal Financial Literacy, Joshua in Personal Financial Literacy. We want these people to help take care of our finances, right? Marley in Accounting Application Series, Rodolfo in Principles of Marketing, and Anaí Accounting Application Series, and Liv in Human Resource Management Series. So give it up for our Mr. Parker, would you say something?
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us here. These young men and young women, I look forward to them continuing to grow. The aspects that they're getting in this from the business world I think is invaluable. And so whenever we can take high school kids and be able to get them to compete and all these kids have qualified. They've already taken 3 tests to qualify to the state. So it's not, we've already done the legwork, and now we just got to get there and do a good job. And I think that we are. But these young men and young women are learning all about business, and they're the future, literally, of our future to take care of us, as somebody mentioned earlier. So from everything from finance, personal finance, to marketing, to different accounting skills, to automotive marketing. So it's kind of a wide array. So I'm very, very proud. We've continued as a third year. We went, I think the first year, I think we had 3 or 4 that qualified. Last year we had 5, and then this year 13. So we continue to grow as a business program at Livingston High School. So thank you for your support.
Thank you. Good job, guys. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll be back next month asking for permission to go to national.
Yes, we're going to go to Orlando here pretty soon.
Orlando, okay.
It's the end of April. Yes, and
Okay.
I'd like to thank Mr. Williams, and Mr. Sloan, and Dr. Parker have been very great advocates for our business program. So thank you all.
And before I forget, students, we do have cookies for you, okay, before you leave, so. All right, thank you guys so much. Oh. Awesome. next we have up our all-state choir and Big Blue Band representatives, if you guys want to come up. Every time I turn around, Mr. De La Cruz is putting these kiddos on a bus to go somewhere. And I am very proud of these Wildcats. They are making tracks across the state. And they're representing Wildcat Nation with such class. We had several band students sitting in first chair, which was the most from all school represented. Most all-state band members are from the single A to 4A schools. So they're not just competing within their classification, but across classifications across the state. We had 19 represented there, and the next school district had only 13. So that's huge for the Big Blue Band and our Lovington Wildcats. We had 4 students represent us in choir for the Mixed and Treble Choir, which were amazing. You know, our choir students have done a phenomenal job, and then they all work together in our drama department. Our sponsors do, as well as our kids. I'm going to invite Ms. Rice and Mr. Estrada, and we have Mr. Caballero and Ms. McCam here. If you guys would come up, please, and just say a few words about your students and your experiences.
Hello, thank you so much for having us. I do want to say that I'm really proud of this group of kids because All-State is something that they do very independently. We give them very difficult music in May, and then they have time to look at it. And to be fair, they usually don't really spend time looking at it until marching season ends because that takes up so much of their time. But the kids then take time to individually practice, coming in after school, getting a lot of extra help sessions. And we had 28 auditions this year and go through the full process. And 19 made it, one was an alternate, so it's 20 people named. So I'm really proud of that. It doubles last year's number, which was a record number for us. So, almost doubles last year's number. So I'm really, really proud of all of the work that the kids did and just that they believed enough in themselves to try for it. So I do want to point out the first in state students. So we have Vanessa here, who is a freshman, got first in state on alto saxophone. Adeline here got first in state on trumpet. Liana, who last year was recognized as first in state on oboe, this year got first in state on clarinet. Giovanni over here is also another freshman. He was first in state on tuba. These are all mostly competed in the small school division, which is 4A and under students, but Brandon Gonzalez chose to compete in the large school division, which is can be a risk because you're competing against all the 5A and 6A high schools, and it gets really competitive up there, and Brandon got first chair in the concert band. Needless to say, I am very blessed with the students that I get to teach every single day, and that they work so hard for me and for us and for the program and for Lovington, and they're just wonderful students. I'm very grateful.
Mr. Estrada?
Absolutely. And as Ms. Rice said, this is really a testament to their individual abilities. It's just very, on the other side, on the choir side, it's very similar. I give them music in May. Go forth and learn. Best of luck. We help them out when we can, but as Ms. Rice said, marching season takes up a lot of our time across all of the fine arts department in the secondary level. And so it is truly, truly a testament to their individual work ethic and talent. And so the kiddos that made it this year, we're just incredibly proud of them. And it's truly, truly, truly a life-changing experience for everybody involved, teachers especially. I do want to brag on myself and Ms. Rice just a little bit. We are very proud of the collaboration we do at a professional level across the secondary fine arts. And so we actually did a session because this conference is also professional development for teachers, music teachers across the state. So Ms. Rice and I hosted a session where we discussed all of our collaborative projects. And we had people from all aspects, all divisions of music teaching in attendance. And so I was very, very proud of that. That was something we had been wanting to do for a while. So yeah, lots of good things happening at Levinson Fine Arts. So very proud.
This group of kiddos demonstrate confidence because it takes a lot of confidence to get up there and compete. And like your director said, you have to do this on your own time, and so that's awesome. So thank you for representing Wildcat Nation for the class. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Next up, we have our back-to-back undefeated basketball border conference champions from Taylor Middle School. So if you will come up, please. All right.
It was a 3-on-3 tournament.
You know what? We'll take you on. It's okay. We'll take them on. Taylor Middle School has been undefeated for 2 years. They are a talented group of young men, and they hold their own in the classroom as well. The most impressive trait about this team that they have displayed in the last 2 years, from where I sit and where I watch, is their unwavering support of one another, integrity, and humble confidence. I watched them play hard, and they would lend a helping hand to pick up the other team after they scored a shot, and then they would fall. They would do their thing and pick them up, pat them on, and go on. And I watched them encourage each other and congratulate the opposing team when they had a nice shot. They are a quiet team. In fact, they don't have to talk. They show their skill by just playing. Actions speak louder than words. I am very proud of Taylor Middle School players and their coaches and managers and administration because they are demonstrating the Wildcat way. So thank you for Taylor Middle School basketball for doing a great job, man. We look forward to seeing you guys keep going through the system, and you guys are truly a lot of fun to watch. And thank you, coaches, for what you do as well. And Mr. Castellanos, the AD, and head AD, Mr. Kirk, and then Lacey, their principal as well. So do you guys have anything to say or add?
You know, I'm just incredibly proud. You know, when you look at the team whenever they play on the court, obviously that win is a testament of your talent, guys. But when you get to know these kids day in and day out, I think it's a testament of your character. It's super proud of you and what you've done and where you're going. Good job.
So thank you, Wildcat Basketball, Taylor Middle School. Put that up in your showcases at Taylor Middle School. So do you coaches have anything to say?
Yeah, sure. I think it's kind of unique that these three came for one reason. I wish they were all here, but you know,
I understand.
2 of our kids have moved up to varsity, and that's impressive. I don't think any went to JV, and I just left the field house, and one of ours was practicing with varsity baseball. So they're doing things, so they're forgiven this time. And we preach teamwork all year long, and here it's just 3 of us here, so that's kind of fun. But Jace got brought up as a 6th grader last year, and these are our 2 6th graders that got brought up this year. And that's really cool. I think that's a great thing. I just want to say that in case no one else has. But I'll say something about each one of them. I think they deserve it. Jace in the 4th quarter of the Border Conference, he got an injury that I didn't realize, and I guess Cabell didn't realize. He did not want us to know. The next possession, I did see him tell our point guard, like, don't come to me, don't come to me. I thought it was just because he was tired. And I thought he was just getting rest. And actually, we laughed about it. I was like, hey, I saw you do that. That's funny. You didn't want the ball, whatever. Thought thought you were resting, but it turns out he was on crutches a few days ago, and he had to go through and do that whole procedure. So there's no such thing as too much pain for Jace. He's a warrior. He plays down low, and they get beat up down there. And we tell him before the game's like, you're going to get beat up. You need something, let us know. CJ, we call him Little Turbo. He's a 6th grader, and, you know, in practice, he's a dog, and he's a hustler, and it doesn't always translate to his minutes in the game. But during border conference, Coach Cruz came and gave him a pep talk, and he used the verse, iron sharpens iron. And that's true. He's a beneficiary of that mentality because he scrimmaged against our starters, and he ran with him, but then they also rubbed off on him. And I'm excited for him to come up next year. And then Saya, I told him at the beginning of the year, just watch, learn, and grow. And that's exactly what he did, but he actually did more than that. During practice and in the games, he's starting to direct the 7th and 8th graders, but in a team-first kind of a way. So I'm really proud of him. He's going to get an award, and it's the Future Leader Award, and that's what we've been working on, is getting these guys some awards. So there's a little bit of a spoiler there, but he's the future leader on our basketball team.
So act surprised when you get that award. I had no idea.
I just want to say the boys are an amazing group of athletes, and they're just going to get better. We're going to keep getting better with hard work and determination. These boys are just going to get better and better.
All right. Thank you for representing your team.
I just want to say I love watching them play. They are fun. They are so energetic.
They are fun.
And so supportive of each other.
Yes.
It's fun to watch them play.
Yes.
Did you have a go to watch them today?
All right, last but not least, Mrs. Brillhart. So when you think of Miss Brillhart, you think of science. The Southern New Mexico Regional Science Olympiad Tournament was held on Saturday, February the 1st, here at 6th Grade Academy. 20 schools, middle school and high school divisions came to Levington from across the southern part of the state. Over 360 students competing in 46 events throughout the day. More than 48 coaches, event supervisors, and volunteers dedicated their time to monitor and facilitate the events from 8 o'clock until 3 p.m. and later. We had a great number of Levington staff volunteering their time on Saturday. Representatives from New Mexico Tech were also present. Taylor Middle School team earned a Division B third place trophy, and Levington High School team secured the third place trophy in Division C. The competition was non-divisional, meaning our schools were competing alongside larger schools such as Las Cruces High and the new school, Centennial and Oregon Mountain. Yes. Our science teachers and coaches have done an amazing job preparing our students for this competition. The event was a success under the direction of Janet Brillhart and her team. I was approached 3 years ago that if we could have it here, if we could host it, because NIMI used to always host the Regional Science Olympiad competition, and they stopped hosting. And so I said, with Janet and her team, yes, let's do it. So we decided to do it. Well, of course, they did everything first class and top notch, and so I think we kind of got designated to do it again. And then this year, yes, this year it was just our part of the state. Well, then the southern part of the state said they were going to be with us, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's right.
They heard all the rumors about you
Oh, no.
and your team.
No.
Yes.
They got tired. They didn't want to do it.
They didn't want to do it. So we hosted, and you know, I went on Saturday and tried to help. I just, I was there and assisting and watching the kiddos. And our cafeteria was packed. Band cafeteria was packed. And got a lot of compliments from people that are not from here about our facilities, about our people, and about our community. And that speaks loudly about Lovington. And so, I was pretty proud. Janet is passionate about everything she has her hand in. And I appreciate her unwavering support, her energy, her time, dedication, and just the little bit of stress that it brought to her life. We couldn't have done it. We couldn't have done it without her and her lead and her team. So, Mrs. Brillhart, and the event was categorized as the best regional competition ever. Yes, for real. So, anyway, we appreciate your leadership in putting this on. So, are we good for another one? Ask you later.
Yeah. We're asking you to retire.
Go!
Okay, that's all for your recognitions tonight? Okay. We're gonna take just a 5-minute recess so the kids can get some cookies, but first I wanna say, these kids' success doesn't happen without the adults in their lives, both at home and at school. So whether you're a sponsor, a parent, or both, this does not happen without your leadership. And so thank you very much to the adults that give so much of themselves to make sure our kids have these opportunities. So, if your kids don't remember to tell you thank you, we'll tell you right now. But thank you very much for helping these kids be successful. So let's take just a 5-minute recess. And those of you that want to stay are more than welcome to. And those of you that might have something else, you're free to go, but please help yourself to a cookie. See all the staff out there eating their lunch, also known as a chocolate chip cookie. So, all right. Okay, we're going to move right on into reports, and I'm going to open it up for questions from the board. Ms. Ansel?
On the assistant superintendent report on the safety team update and stuff, what have we shared with the kids about that reunification plan? Have the teachers talked to them about what to do?
We haven't rolled out anything official yet. That's part of our, what the staff want to do and our next steps.
Oh,
Is to help share with the kids.
okay. So you're a
Nothing
practice
yet.
law. Okay, because I know they were curious. I mean, it's like, there's no secrets. They knew what was going on that day.
And I don't know, I can't speak to but we've done nothing from mine as far as rolling anything out.
Okay.
Other questions?
I got one it kind of goes along with the safety stuff. Do we have an actual SRO? We do not. Okay.
No, we do not have an SRO. And I don't know, I don't foresee having one, truly. So LPD is understaffed, and so we just haven't had the opportunity to get one.
Thank you.
Northern is supposed to be a full-time safety guy, security guy, and we're still looking for another one.
Yeah.
One young man came in to work one day and said, no.
Other questions? I have a couple of them. Oh, go ahead. Well, okay, so on the technology, where you were talking about the cameras, are those just replacements, or are we able to also do additional? Or
This round is just replacement.
okay, and then you'll plan for the additional ones as needed. Okay. And I didn't really give this shout out last month, but I just want to tell Ms. Hutchins, the new report that you put in there, thank you. That's a really great report, and so thank you. That's very clear on so many levels, and so thank you. And I apologize for not bringing that up.
I like the way you say clear. That way we can
For dummies, okay, yeah. It was very understandable for those of us that don't do it all the time. So yeah, that's correct. Definitely special ed, the 100% on your IEP audit. Kudos to you on that.
Yeah, and for the rest of it, I mean, we always get 100%, but right the week after we turned everything in, they changed the rules on us.
Oh, yeah.
So
That seems to happen.
yeah.
A couple of concerns, questions. The enrollment, we continue to drop. That's definitely a concern. Do we do a tracking to where we know why we're losing these students? Because in the K through 12, it's 30-something students. So we do have a tracking system of why we're losing them.
They tell us why they're leaving.
That's because that certainly affects our money.
Can I speak? We have had some,
Thank you, Stephanie.
One of the things that we've been tracking pretty closely is we've been having a lot of students travel abroad, and they are extending that leave abroad. And so it is resulting in withdrawals and things like that because we had several families that left in December and have yet to return.
And when was 120 report? Earlier this week? And so this is the number from the 120. Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. And I know that there's not a specific report on this particular thing, but I don't think I'm alone when I say there's great concern about the issue with buses, activities. I know we've had kids have their events be canceled. I hate when that happens. I know it's a difficult decision, but what are we doing to address this.
Okay. So we do have buses, so I want to make that clear. We do have buses. It's the bus drivers that we are lacking, but I will bring Mr. De La Cruz up to the podium so that he can,
I mean, because I know that most of this
Right,
is activity.
right, it is,
I mean, it's
yes.
all activity stuff.
Yeah. So,
This is a state statute. Starts on letter K. You know, and currently, right now, we have 1,490 kids that ride the bus to and from school on a daily basis.
So $14.90 on the routes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That was based on the 80th day. And another deal that happens is, City Young said we do have a lot of buses. We have plenty of buses. It's just the drivers. We had one of the drivers left at Christmas time that we used all the time. And we were forcing them to pick up another driver. And she came in and she actually drove the, it's already been here. She drove the bus to Albuquerque this past weekend. Some people say that she drives really slow, and you know what? As long as we get there, that's okay with me.
Let her leave her.
Yes, ma'am. And so what happens is definitely a lot of the activities that are planned out by coaches way ahead of time, and as they come in,
to my knowledge, we've only canceled one event. We've had to postpone some and reschedule. The only one that's been canceled is the tennis match this weekend.
What about didn't the cheer team also have to?
We didn't have a bus for that. Yeah, we didn't have a driver for that for one of the games.
that was this past.
That was Port
And then a
Tallis.
competition? Wasn't there a cheer competition that they also?
No, I don't think we missed a competition.
There was one in Cruces that they didn't get to go to.
Oh, yes, you're right. They wanted to go to that competition in Las Cruces 2 weeks ago.
I remember that one.
And I mean, I think I want to be clear. I don't think we're looking to blame. I think that the question is, what can we do? We are in a bind.
I can't imagine
This
you
is
guys
hurting
not
our
getting
kids.
bombarded by people.
We are.
I do all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, I tell them, I said, you know what, coach, turn in what activities they're going to have. And we got 2.5 drivers that we have because one of them have retired and we begged him to come back. And he's driving all the girls' basketball everywhere they go. And then the other bus driver's driving all the boys. And this other person that we picked up after Christmas, she's driving whenever we have different things that come up. And so they come in, the blue forms, we put them on the board, and then we go from there. I mean, as they come in, if there's any problem, then I'll contact Mr. Brad, I'll contact Mr. Williams and say, hey, this is what's happening, too many things going on at the same time. And this is just the month of February.
Oh, yeah. See, I think that's why we're concerned, is we all know what March, April, and May are going to be.
And here's March right here. And April is worse than this. But you look at it, if we can keep it down to 3 events per Friday, Thursdays and Fridays. Because if you look, there's really not a whole lot of stuff that takes place on Saturdays. And that's when we can use our route drivers to help us drive. And so, but a lot of stuff doesn't happen on those days. Our golf team was smart enough to go ahead and schedule all their events on a Monday. And we don't have any trouble getting bus rides on Monday because there's nothing taking place on Monday. So we look at it and we decide where we can move some people around to help us, like this Friday. Early release, thank goodness, because we switched some drivers around to help us. And one of the drivers that likes to do activities switch with another person, and she'll be done early, and she's going to drive a cheer team to Artesia on Friday. If not, then it's impossible to do. So we're working, always trying to work things out and try to make things better. But if you look there on letter K, it tells you what we can do for Suburbans. And most of the time, the teams are bigger than 18 people. So, you know, if it's 18 individuals involved, including the drivers, you have to take a bus.
And you have to have 2 adults in the Suburban, correct?
Yes, ma'am. And tomorrow morning at 10:30, we're getting PEDs coming down for an audit, and they're going to come in and audit all their paperwork that we have in the office for physicals and training and all that stuff, and then they'll go out to the bus barn and audit all the paperwork in the buses to make sure that they've been inspected. So when he's here tomorrow, And we've done it before. Mrs. Q sat there, and we called them on the phone, we talked to them and asked, what can we do because of the problems we're having? And the state keeps insisting that we have to have two. But then you go to a basketball game, you go to a tennis game, and you see these people that are driving individually or bringing four Suburbans from Taos or Los Alamos for a basketball tournament.
In the snow.
Yeah, in the snow. And that's where a lot of the coaches are a bit confused and they're thinking that maybe it's us. I'll tell you right now, we're following this to the letter and we're going to do the best we can on this because that's what we do. And so we're hoping to maybe get some questions answered, especially that one tomorrow when he's here, to see where they can show us on here and what we can do.
Okay, thank you.
Because that would help a little bit, but that's not going to help a whole lot because they're taking more than 18 kids. You got to send bus.
And it's a result of the busy oil field, people with CDLs. I mean, that's a good thing for our community, but it's hard when we're trying to staff bus drivers.
I contacted, actually he came in and talked to me in person, an individual that drives for us and Hobbs. When he goes and drives for Hobbs, they pay him $23 an hour. When he drives out of town and spends the night, they give him a $50 bonus and a $30 for his meals. We pay for the bus driver meals, but we don't do the $50. And we don't pay the $23. We pay $21.50 an hour. So,
it may be one of those conversations that we need to start looking at of what we can do to enhance that a little bit more. Because I thought, are we looking at needing to contract through BG or, I don't know.
BNG, what they've done, they took over the Artesia schools activities. They bought them out and they're doing the Artesia, all the activities for Artesia. They do all activities for the USW and for Hobbs. The junior college was using them and they bought their own buses and they're doing their own transportation now. And because it's easier just to hire someone for those two buses they have. And so we can definitely get creative, but then again, it's going to be individuals that are wanting to drive.
That's right.
Do you think it'd make a difference or help if we advertise like in the newspaper or up there?
We can do that, I mean, for sure, but I think it's probably going to be a waste of our money because we constantly have the sign out there that we're hiring and word of mouth. And I think there's a couple of ladies that would want to drive for us and do activities if we had somebody to replace them. Because we get $1.2 million every year to get our kids to and from school.
Yeah.
And by far, that's probably just as important. And just for the record, I'm not anti-band. I was a band in high school. I graduated from high school here and played in band, and I played sports. And so when people say, well, that's not true. I'm not anti. It's just pretty much this is what we can get there. If you look for this coming Friday, the tennis team wanted to go to El Paso and spend 3 days out there. We have, of course, the student council going out on Friday and spending the night, come back on Saturday for a state convention. This is what we're having. And then we have our basketball team. And so the conversation that we had is like, and we offered, take a Suburban, and Coach didn't want to take Suburban. He said, you know what, I don't want to take 12 kids, I want to take 18 total people. So we offer that.
Well, and I think the important thing is that whatever the difficult decisions are, it be equitable. We can't have, I know golf gets to do theirs on Monday, that's because they can't use golf courses on Fridays and Saturdays. But I think that it's important that we be equitable if we're having to make these cuts. It's not always just this group or just these two groups. That's tough on kids. So I know you guys have a difficult job, but I think, anything.
Yeah, I think it's just concerning to me, just like I said, March, April, May, is gonna be, somebody's gonna get cut, and then it's gonna be bad, I don't know a better word, but I better not say it.
And if you look at February the 22nd, sign some leaders going to support two buses. That's what they're asking for. And then we have the Industry Expo going to Kirby also.
And cheer going to Artesia that day.
Well, we got the Saturday stuff is covered because a lot of those ladies that normally do the ones are willing to go district, other districts, they don't do anything on Saturdays like they used to. And so,
Track coaches don't want to do Saturdays. They don't want to give up their Saturdays, so most of the meets are on Fridays. That hurts us.
Any other questions from the board? Well, thank you. I mean, I think it's important for us to have that conversation because we are getting inundated with questions and comments and calls and,
So are we.
yeah. So,
And Bob picks up on the first or second ring every time.
Yeah.
And we just try to juggle it as best as we can.
And I think really being sure that we're spreading the pain a little bit, you know, and I just hate doing that for kids, you know, but it, you know. So.
We have, the month of April, we have our band going to Rio Rancho or Albuquerque. And then the following week we have, so I think there's more and more, like Ms. Q said, well, our band is involved in doing a lot of stuff. I mean,
Right.
we're on the road quite a bit compared to what we've had in the past.
Right.
So, stuff like that. And they don't just take one of us, they take two or three. So, and that's a good problem to have, but definitely, like I said, I just want you guys to know I'm not anti, and I don't decide this.
No, not at all.
And regardless of what people are saying, it's not.
No, you guys are trying to figure it out, but I appreciate you, you know, sharing what kind of your strategies are, and hopefully people can continue to get the word out. We need bus drivers.
This is the last one, and I'll be quiet for any more questions, but baseball came up with their baseball schedule on Concord, and I said, Kirk, I said, they're going to play on the 22nd when we have all this stuff taking place. He goes, I'll take care of it. Gets on the phone, calls Chaparral, and changed the game. I mean, people were willing to work with each other and do stuff like that, and Kurt's willing to go ahead and call them, reach out to the people and take care of that.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I don't envy your job.
Any other questions?
No.
Thank you.
No. Thank you very much. Any other questions on the reports?
I have one just on the maintenance. I know the demo on the Second Street stuff we're all good on it. Do you have any idea when that's gonna start?
We're waiting on the PSFA to come out with the MOU.
Okay.
We're
Yes, sir.
waiting on them.
And then I did notice, I think Ms. Hughes and the staff's done a great job of repainting everything, the wildcat blue, but it seems like our baseball fence is not, it's like two-tone, it looks like, and I don't know.
Baseball fence?
Yes, sir.
It's in progress right now.
Oh, perfect. Okay. There we go. It looked kind of checkerboard, I think I could just take it. I just drove by there the other day, I don't remember. Perfect.
All right, any other questions on the reports? And Superintendent, do you have anything else information-wise? Okay. Okay, if there's nothing else from members, we're gonna move right on into routine matters. And we'll take items 1 through 4, consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve as presented? Okay, any questions? Okay. Okay, next item, budget adjustments.
There's one small budget adjustment for a decrease of $1,600, and basically it's truing it up to the award for the year.
Okay. Questions from the board? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. We do not have any bids tonight. We do have some donations. You'll see them listed there for Science Olympiad, After Grads, and Ben Alexander. Do I hear a motion to, any questions?
I have seen some comments, I don't get on Facebook very often, but I was on the other day, and a lot of comments about asking about after-grad. What kind of information are we getting out to the parents?
We got out a lot of information out to parents. Mrs. Gonzalez held a parent meeting and advertised for that, sent that out on Parent Square. And she had a great number of parents show up, and they were very excited about the plans and volunteering and asking what they could do to assist. So the high school has been communicating that out to our parents.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? Not, do I hear a motion to approve the donations presented?
So moved.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Moving on into old business, second reading to consider adjustments to policy B 1400.
Yes, ma'am. This is our second reading to the policy, and I guess it's time for you guys to vote if you want to.
For keeping the board meeting on the second Monday.
Yes, second Monday.
Not like Fridays, about 7 o'clock.
Ooh, that'd be fun. We'd have a big group, wouldn't we? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
It's open.
Okay, thank you. Moving on into new business. First item, determination of the NMSBA Excellent Student Achievement Award. We all voted, and Vanessa said that there was a majority, and that award will be presented at the end of the year awards. So, thank you guys for doing that. It's always tough because we get a lot of great nominations, so it's a lot of fun to read that. So, thank you to the principals that I know work hard to get all that back to Ms. Q. So, all right, do I have a motion to approve the Student Achievement Award completion?
So moved.
Okay. Next item, consider approval of the MOU with Lee County for the bus services during the fair and rodeo.
Yes, ma'am. Leamington Schools is very excited to partner with the county to provide this service to them. And this is the final MOU pending any board and county approval or suggestions. Right now, the county has this in their possession. They are taking it to their committee and then to their legal counsel. And so I'm awaiting their responses on this. So do you guys have anything that you would like to add or take away?
I have a question.
Okay.
Scope of understanding part A. With LMSD's transportation fleet of buses provide designated and agreed upon buses for use during the Camp Rodeo to transport participants in the fair from 4:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. each day. Who the heck are we busing at 1:30 in the morning?
Well, the fair rodeo get done and the concert gets done about 12. And so by the time you go and then come back, we just put that time in there to give us enough time.
But they're having parking at the football field, right?
Right. It's not students, it's fair goers.
The park at the football stadium?
They have a choice because of the parking that we have available, that the county has available. There's not enough.
Unaware that we did that, and I thought, we're taking kids at 1:30 in the morning?
No.
We've never
This is
done it. This is
the
something
first
that the
time.
county, correct me if I'm wrong, the county approached the
Yes.
superintendent and said, would you consider doing this? So people could park at the high school parking lot, and then our buses would transport them and then bring them back.
They had cars all the way down Industrial pretty far, and then down Commercial, and down to Chaparral Park, and in Chaparral Park, and in the
And then they're
ditch.
still having to walk, and
Yes.
the buses are gonna take them right to the gate.
To the gate. Yeah.
So that's separate from us taking our elementary school kids out there.
Right, we are not busing our student, they're on their own with their parents. Yeah, this is just for any fairgoers that want to
Third
go.
grader was out at 1:30, yeah. Yeah, no, this is,
Now, I saw that at State Fair, don't get me wrong, people
Yeah.
kind of kids up there
Right.
on top of the sheet, and they're walking through fairgrounds at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
okay.
and we'll see how this goes, you know, we're,
It's a great opportunity to work together, and
Do we know, it's just kind of a question, so does this interfere with any of the daily activities of, because I assume you're gonna have to use the route drivers, right, for this? So,
Right,
all
so,
activities, so how does that work with?
so within the MOU, the county is only asking for that first Saturday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, more than likely, we will, we'll have an early release on that Wednesday. And then we'll have those other 2 days, Thursday and Friday, where the kids are not in school. It's a PD day and
Where
it's
is
the.
that? Is it in here? It doesn't say right here, August 2nd, August 9th.
Right, we just have that's what they're asking for, but this is what we put in there in case they change their mind. But that's the understanding, that those are the only days that they are asking for the bus. Because that's what they were seeing, where the transportation, where the
That's when
parking was.
the rodeos start.
Right. Do you want me to put that in there? Do you want me to?
I'm just curious how this is all gonna work with the drivers. I mean, obviously, we can't send kids to a tennis match, but then we can provide.
Right.
If they pay us $1,500 a day, then we've got the buses to do it all of a sudden, and that doesn't look very good, I think, in everybody's eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So this
I
was.
don't know if that needs to be laid out that the route drivers are able to drive these buses till 1:30 in the morning, and then the way it reads right now, they'd have to get up in the morning and go pick up students, right?
They won't.
Would it be?
Well,
That's
they.
That's the way it's written here, is August 2nd through August 9th, so that would be what they.
Right, but the only days that the county has asked for is that Saturday, that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's it. So the kids they're not having to get up and drive kids. Right.
If our calendar holds like it has been in the past, and I mean, that's coming up in probably April, but that Thursday and Friday are those community learning days, so there's no use of buses there. And the Wednesday is an early release day, or it has been in the past,
Yes.
correct? And so that would not conflict. And so then we pay the drivers and they're paying us, is that?
They're paying us the daily rate, what's according to the MOU, and then we take care of fueling the bus, paying the driver, all those things, yes.
Isn't the concert over before 1:30? I thought they shut down as well. Yeah, so.
This is gonna give them time to I see the reason.
Oh, okay. Get them from there.
I just see it,
Cars.
I mean, the way it reads right here is just, we're going Saturday or Sunday through Saturday, whatever it is, you know, so.
If you want me to go back to our legal counsel to get that on there, I can. Like, be very specific on the days.
I think the conversation of, do you want it in the document, or?
I mean.
I just wonder if some care about the priority, like we've done in other documents, the priority goes to transporting Lovington Municipal School students, and that cannot conflict. We don't anticipate it, but I see what Mr. Bishop's saying. If we have this MOU that says, well, you said you'd be available from the 2nd through the 9th. And so really clarifying that, not conflicting with transporting our students. I mean, what is it, 1,500 students that we're transporting. And so maybe just that clarification in there.
And we're also waiting for the county to get back to us on what they're thinking on the number of buses. We're not talking our whole fleet out there at the same time. We're talking maybe 2. Right.
And there were the old buses too, they're not the new buses.
Okay.
Yeah, there's care buses.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm right down.
Hey, we'll tell you what my take is.
Any other questions? The superintendent's recommendation?
To approve the MOU with the added change.
The noted
being
changes.
More specific on the days, and that our students will be the priority.
Okay. Okay. Do I hear a motion for that? Okay.
Wait a second.
So before we move on to the next one, then if there should be major changes, you would bring it back to the board for a reconsideration after you get it back from the county, correct?
I will probably bring it back to the board anyway with the changes,
Okay,
just that you
okay.
guys can see
Okay,
it.
we can do an amended one.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, all right, next item, consider approval for out-of-state travel. We do have two different ones, the ballet folklorico and the honor choir.
Let's see. All right, we have our people here. So this is nothing really new for our ballet folklorico. That goes to Lubbock. The reason they are here is because they are going across state lines for a competition. So,
We
yes.
go on Friday. That's when we have 2 days. So it's 2 days. Friday we do workshops. So we take our students to the workshops. They get to see the building, the stage. They meet the other team members. So it's just a good experience for them to be out there to see where they're going to be dancing and meet other people. And then Saturday we have competition. So those are the 2 days, the main days. And then we have April 5th. We were invited to go to UTEP. Huh? Oh, it's not.
But you can talk about it and then we'll put it back up.
Okay. So
There's another one coming.
Coming in April, that we're invited to go to UTEP University where they have a ballet folklorico, and they're going to host and do a workshop for us. But that's in April. I'm sorry, I thought it was on there.
That's how I was looking here. I thought.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
You're
But,
fine.
we're
You're fine.
excited to go. It's this will be our, I believe, 7th year. And every year we brought back some trophies. Last year we did it's been 2 years that we've gone the overall children's winners. So our kids are pretty excited and happy to go. So,
And you have such wonderful family support. My
Yes.
goodness.
and we have 30 kids this year. So we have 3 teams. We have the beginners, 4th through 6th grade. And then we have our Taylor team, and then we have a high school team. So we're very excited and happy to do that again this year.
That's great. Okay, questions from the board? Okay, and the superintendent's recommendation?
To please approve.
Okay, we'll take these collectively, but go ahead and get your input on that. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and the next one?
Is our Lovington Elementary Honor Choir. They annually go to Amarillo, Texas. So this is to gain permission from the board to cross the state lines to compete.
Hey, it is something that my students use as a recruiting tool. My students and their parents, families are very excited about being part of that. We have a winning record with that competition. It's the Greater Southwest Music Festival, and it is approximately, actually serves approximately 80,000 students on a 3-day festival, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and it's literally all over Amarillo, from their college to the Globe News Center, which just actually performing in that auditorium is such an experience for the students. It looks like the outside of a pineapple on the inside walls. It's architecturally and sound phenomenal. They literally, if you dropped a toothpick on the stage, they could hear it anywhere in the auditorium. And they hear themselves in ways they've never been able to. But they're actually, it's not just festival, it's competition. And they compete against many elementary choirs. And last year they were competing against elementary, middle school, and high school show choirs as well. And they're very excited about the possibility of doing this. They're diligently working on it to the point that we got a little impatient on just waiting on our dance teacher to get choreography started, and the students actually started their choreography for their first number. So it's a fabulous experience for them, and they get to hear some other groups as well, and it's the epitome of the year for them to have that opportunity. And our trophy case shines from it. So it was exciting last year that they actually beat Artesia.
Well, you do a great job with that choir, Ms. Kaufman.
Thank you. Well, and they actually have to meet the same criteria they do from middle school up for competition. They have to keep their grades up. They have to attend regular rehearsals, get picked up on time, and be exemplary in their behavior across the board in the school and community. And the students and the parents sign a contract accordingly. So.
Thank you.
So the festival is the first through the third, but y'all are just going on the second?
Just on the second. That was the only day that they offered the show choir part. And we tried going on a Saturday once, and 25 students didn't show up on a Saturday. So, and at that age, it's not the students, it's the parents getting them there. So, during the school week, it's almost like a reward in itself too.
Thank you, Ms. Kaufman.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Superintendent's recommendation? I think the only question that comes to mind, of course, I think it's an absolute great opportunity, but do you want to talk about the bus?
So, this comes out of Fine Arts, and so Mrs. Hubbard has always been so gracious to provide the charter bus for him, and it's a big deal for our
Okay,
kids.
so Mr. Murad and Mr. De La Cruz can take a deep breath, and that's and thank you, because I know that's hard sometimes, because that's getting into competitive season for those varsity sports, and so by already setting it up, we can ensure that those elementary students get to do that. So thank you, Ms. Harden, for taking care of that. Okay, so 2 great trips for our kids. What a great opportunity for our elementary students. Do I hear a motion to approve? Okay, thank you. That concludes the business. We will, just glancing at other information, looking ahead, the annual conference for the NSBA is in April in Atlanta, Georgia. The legislative conference is coming up this week, and spring budget is in April. If you are interested in doing any of those, then you need to let Vanessa know that as quickly as possible. So, any questions on any of those? Okay. The next item on the agenda is public comment time. Time set aside for public comment on items on the agenda. Do we have anybody for public comment tonight? See y'all all giving each other the stink eyes. Okay. All right. That concludes the public portion. So do I hear a motion to move into executive session?
So moved.
Vanessa?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. We'll take just a 5-minute break. Thank you, guys.
Another 5-minute break.
5-minute break. Sign your papers.